Today we'll be learning about life in slavery. Slaves were not treated like human beings, they were treated like property. This was because they were bought and sold like property. Often their families were torn apart on a plantation. Slaves were forced to work like field laborers or house servants. People were so harsh that even young children were forced to work. Working in the field was always exhausting. Slaves had to work day and night, heat and cold, or even through rain, sleet, hail, or snow, which was almost every day of the year. Overseas would whip them to keep them working hard. Slaves worked so hard for their owners, though still they were never paid and had very poor food, clothing, and shelter, that many slaves died at a young age. Their owners would make them follow harsh rules to keep them from resisting or running away. Lots of slaves had to wear really heavy iron chains. They could all be beaten or even killed. Some of the slaves fought back by running away. Most resisted by working as slowly as they could without getting caught. To survive their horrible lives, they would make close ties with each other. They created a small community because they would feel like they were one big family. Each and every slave helped out each other to survive their harsh lives. Another source to get their strength back was religion. Slaves began to practice Christianity for inspiration. They combined musical traditions with Christianity to create powerful music. Over time, slaves created a new culture by combining African Americans' customs and religion. They remembered their past by telling stories of their past lives in Africa. They made up songs about to work to help time pass on while they were working in the fields. They created and played the banjo. 3 crops slaves had to grow was tobacco, rice, and cotton. Slaves had small, cramped houses with only one room, and most slaves had to sleep on the floor. They had to sleep on mattresses made with corn husks. Most of the stuff they owned was homemade, like hand-wooden baskets. They made their furniture out of barrels. Sometimes the slaves had to do extra work. They get metal plates and other stuff they need. They used clay and wood to make fireplaces. Slaves would use other people's trash to make things they could use to help them survive. They made the best out of what they had just to survive. Quiz question. Where did the slaves come from? Why were the slaves needed?